Welcome back, everybody. In this video, we are going to take a look at the last piece of our Access Database project puzzle, which is how to actually show the user information in a slightly nicer way than the table. And I'm not talking about using forms like we did before. Forms are good for showing one record at a time. What we want to do is show them sort of the overall summary of information. This is all basically in something called a report. The reports are here on the Create tab. You'll see here we've done tables, queries, forms, and the last section is reports. So what we want to do is we want to do a report on one of our tables. Now what you're going to be asked to do in your project is to create a report based on one of your queries. So the last query I did here, which I'll just go back to design view, was a relational query. So I was trying to get some information that involves a couple of the tables, right? The members and the checkouts. And so I had the name, the title, and the due date of the books, and it uses all that information going across these tables. What I want to do now is just create a report of the solution to this. So the first thing I'm going to do, I can check to make sure my data looks good. You know, that is what the query was finding. Yes, I'm happy with it. Let's save the query with a good name. So I'm going to save it, and my name is going to be who has what book. So, perfect. Nice descriptive name. It's added to the Queries tab here. Now with that table open, all you have to do is basically go Create and hit Report. It's going to pause for a few seconds and it's going to generate the report for you. Now that's basically it. So at this level we're not doing too much. We have about 10-20 seconds extra to top this off, you know, to make it really good, and we'll show you that right now. So you'll see here you obviously have a report, this little report icon there, and you can see you can go into layout view, we can be in design view, okay, or you can be in report view, or you can be in print view, right, to see what would be printed out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick in layout view here, and I'm going to change a few things. So if you want, you could, you know, click and click again in the box. You could change the title of that header if you wanted. You could also change the title of the report here if you wanted to. You could take the date out, you know, add it, leave it, whatever, or it's over here. You can change the way it looks. But most importantly, there's one thing we want you to consider doing with the data that you show the user. You're going to notice here that Alan has checked out 2 books. When we did our table here, we had sorted ascending and we had Alan and Alan together and the Bobs together. But in a report, that seems to have been lost. What you have to do in the report is you actually have to state this again, that you want the information, what they call grouped up. So here's what you do. You'll see here there's a big group button. I can turn it off and I can turn the group thing on. The purpose of that button is just to get you this over here. What I want to do, and watch where I'm clicking, I don't click on the field name, I click in the data. So I click just on one of the names there, let's say the first name Jen, and I go add a group. And when I add a group, it's going to ask me which field would I like to group the results by. Now what I want to do, a normal human would probably like to see all the books Jen has, all the books Bob has, all the books Alan has, etc. So you want to group by the first name field, and you'll see what it does. And that's exactly what it gives us now. That's it. It has grouped on first name with A's on top. You could add a little more, but not necessary at this point. And that's it. If you also wanted to do extra groupings, you could add more groups by more fields, like by date, so you have groups and subgroups. But this is good for beginner. It just gives you the idea that you can sort and organize the information inside of the report. Now, that's basically it. I'll show you the print view here. The print view, not the best looking thing. You're going to notice Microsoft does something very odd that lots of people online, if you do a little search, will go, what's the deal with the grayed out and white backgrounds here? It looked good when the data was original, but now that we've grouped, it's still left this weird gray pattern behind. Okay, that's weird. So here's what we do. We're actually going to go back to layout view and we're going to take it out. And here's how you take it out. You just click in the gray in the property sheet, which should be open here. If it's not open, you have a button there for property sheet. it's alternate back color. You basically want to go none. And you just want to click on all of them that are there. And yeah, that got them all because they were repeating and it took them out. You'll also notice that there's square boxes around the data. Ugh. Okay, it's sort of gross. So what you can do is you can actually do the same thing here, but this one to get rid of the box is called the border style. Let's click on this and go border style. I'll make it a little bigger for you here. Transparent. Let me make it a little bigger so you can actually see the word. So border style transparent. And once you do it with a few of them, it'll basically remove them off. All of them. Because they're all sort of linked, right? And now when we do the print view, perfect. Not bad, right? Maybe change these a little bit. Okay. And you got a nice summary, right, of the data there. And so that's the basics about a report, right? We're not going to go into huge detail there. You could fiddle with design view. Notice it's sort of like the design view of the form from before. You can add extras like logos and pictures and other stuff, right? But you don't have to. Okay, we can just stick basically in the layout view and we're totally happy. Give this a save when you're done. Who has what book? Report. And there you go. Now you got a report in there. This is the kind of thing you give people access to. Nice little summary of the data. Perfect. You got tables, forms, queries, more queries, relationships, and reports. And that's a little overview of Microsoft Access, right? You could study this program for years to really get the big hang of it, right? There's a lot in here, but that's a good little overview for a beginner. Thanks for watching.